Well, tonight I thought I'd start working on a little kiln for the pottery studio. And I have this little can. It doesn't have sharp edges because it's one of those pull tab cans. So let's see if we can make a kiln together. Well, I thought I'd start off by showing you photographs of what the actual kiln looks like that I use at the pottery studio to fire the stuff that I've been making. And it's just gigantic. I mean, it's enormous. So, I'm trying to replicate it as best as I possibly can. So I'm going to copy that panel right there on the front of the kiln. I'm just going to take a photocopy of it and shrink it down. And this is kind of the first idea that I had for doing the front of the kiln. And you can see here it's just a little bit too large, so I'm going to have to find something a little bit different to use. And I've got this little can that some hot sauce came in, and it had a pull tab. And then I've got a canning lid that I plan on using for the top of it. So what I did is I grabbed some cardstock and I drew a line across it, and then I'm just showing you, I'm going to be cutting little slits in it all the way down, and so making it so that it can curve around and make a lip, so that it'll actually have a lip on it. So you can see here I cut it little, and then I'm going to fold it on the line, and then I'm going to curl it around, and I'm going to use that canning sealer lid. So I've cut little triangles out of it so that it'll go into a circle a little bit more conveniently. And you can see here it like just curves around just perfectly. So it'll be very, very easy to glue to the lid. Without cutting the little triangles, it would be a lot harder to get it to line up nice. So that's the plan. Because I can't just have a flat lid on the kiln, it's got to have a proper lid. Now, ideally, being able to use this lid would have been ideal, but it's way too big. And you can see here the little sealer is the perfect size, so that's why I'm using the paper around the edge of it rather than using that spaghetti sauce lid. It's a shame that it wouldn't work, but it is what it is. So I'm going to take this little lid here, and I'm going to absolutely slather it with a ton of glue, and then I'm going to glue my little cardstock rim on the outside of it. So that's the plan. So, and of course I need two of them, one to hide the little triangles. So I've got some tacky glue here, and I'm just gonna slather the outside, and literally I'm using just a ton of glue here because I don't want this thing to fall apart. So I'm just slathering the outside of this little sealer lid, and then you see here it fits perfectly. And so I'm just going to add a ton more glue to the whole top of it, and then this will go on top, so you won't be able to see all those little triangle cuts when I'm finished. And it'll be just a perfect lid. See? It turned out really well, and you can't see how messy and how much glue there actually is in there. So it's going to have to dry overnight properly before I'm going to be able to assemble the kiln. And I won't be assembling the entire kiln in this video. I'll show you the finished product in my next video. So I've got here the tester's paint. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want everything to be silver so it all matches. And none of my sealer lids they all seem to be gold, all the ones that I have in the drawer at the present time. And the ones that aren't gold have writing on them that has, it says Mason or what have you. And of course, there's no kilns that are made by Mason that I'm aware of. So I'm just going to paint this entire thing silver so that it'll look really good beside the can. The can itself, I do not plan on painting. I'm going to leave it silver. So there's the lid and there's the kiln. We have to start referring to it as a kiln now. So I'm quite pleased with the way this works, and it seems to fit quite nicely. So I've got here a couple of little miniature hinges. These hinges came from Temu. They're super cheap, and they're a great size for doing miniatures, and I think they'll work really good to hold the lid on so that it can be opened and closed. I'd like to also build some little kiln shelves on the inside of this kiln and put a couple of pieces of pottery in it. And so I've got the little hinges just glued onto the lid, and I'm going to have to let that sit for at least 24 hours before I can do anything further. And when I was going through my stash, I found this little miniature mailbox. And I've had this thing sitting around for quite some time. And I cut it in half. And I think that that will look really perfect on the front of the kiln. So I glued a little bead. You can see the square bead at the top. And then I'm going to glue this little piece here on. And that will be where I'll put the little switches and everything on the front of the kiln. So I've got these two pieces glued on, and I've got the hinges glued on, and that's as far as I went for today. Just wanted to show you the porcelain that came out of the kiln today. So I purchased some porcelain molds, and I've been pouring some porcelain, and I just kind of wanted to share it with you. So these are some of the vases that I poured, and most of them are hand painted. You can see the little pot there, and a teapot, and some little cups, and oh my goodness, I've been having so much fun pouring this porcelain. And a couple of little tea sets and some plates there in the background. And here you can see one of the puppies that I made. That one is black and white. And here's some dishes that I did. And the nativity scene on the far right. See the little cow, and that little tiny, tiny little lamb is like the size of my pinky nail. I'm super pleased with that little Santa jar. So the hat comes off, and it's actually a jar inside. It's so cute. And then that little denim tea service that it kind of looks like denim on the far right. Here's a better close-up of the little Santa jar with the removable hat. I think he turned out pretty sweet, and he's really tiny. And here's a better close-up of the nativity scene. That little lamb and the baby Jesus are so little. If you enjoyed today's video and would like to help support my channel, you can do so by buying me a coffee. Just go to www.buymeacoffee.com/LisaDobo. I'd like to thank everyone that has been helping to support my channel by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com. It's appreciated more than you know, and it's what's keeping this channel afloat. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. It's free of charge, and it really does help my channel grow. Please hit that like button, and I love to hear your comments. Tomorrow I'm going to be going to an antique show where hopefully they'll have lots of miniatures. So I'll be posting another video right away, and I'll show you what the kiln looks like when it's all done. Have the best day ever.